One of the biggest retirement planning mistakes I see a lot is people overestimate how long they are actually going to work for. If you look at almost all surveys of retirees, a huge number, between a third to half, actually retired earlier than they had planned for. In this video, we're going to look at some of those statistics and just talk about that impact on your retirement plan. My name is Scott Caulfield. I am a CPA and a CFA charter holder and the founder of Sophos Wealth Management. So let's look at two surveys here. The first comes from Allspring. In their Allspring Global survey, they found that 37% of retirees ended up retiring earlier than they had planned for. This is actually on the low end compared to the other study. Now, this other study is kind of like the gold standard of retirement studies. It comes from EBRI. It's the Retirement Confidence Survey. They found that 46% of retirees ended up retiring earlier than they had planned on. Now, what's interesting too is kind of the breakdown of why those people retired earlier. If you look into the why, 35% ended up retiring because of health considerations, health or disability. So over a third for that reason. Now, 35%, it's positive. It's because they had the means to retire early. So that is great. And then another 31% did so because of changes at a job. Now, if you look at this survey's kind of history, you'll see that it's a fairly common number, as high as 46, 48% retired earlier than planned, sometimes down at 38, 39%. But that is a significant portion of people entering retirement who retire earlier than planned. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Mike Tyson quote, right? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. I think this really does come into play in your retirement planning. When people start looking forward to retirement, they get those last few years of work, all of a sudden things that didn't bother you anymore become far more irritating. And it just becomes hard for some people to finish out those last couple of years, not to mention the possibility of layoffs and job changes. And then of course, those health considerations. Now, this has a big impact on your retirement planning in a few ways. I mean, let's start with Social Security. Social Security, your benefits are going to be based on your 35 years of your highest earnings. Now, typically those come late in your career. So by retiring early, you are losing some of those highest earning years that would contribute to your earnings record. That's going to mean a lower Social Security benefit. Additionally, if you end up retiring earlier than you had planned, it is likely you will have to tap Social Security earlier. So either that benefit won't grow or you'll have to tap it before full retirement age and you'll get a reduced benefit. The other consideration here is, of course, your retirement savings. So fewer years to save. Obviously, you're going to have less in assets, less years for that to compound and grow. And then it's going to have to support you for a longer period of retirement. So all these things, financially have a pretty big impact. Now, for the 35% who retired because they had the means to do so, that is amazing, right? And I think retirement planning all gets down to having that flexibility to make the best choices for your situation so that you can achieve your kind of ideal retirement and goals, and you can balance what's the right amount of assets versus the amount of years you want to actually work. So I hope this was helpful. I encourage you to check out my website and please like this video and subscribe. Thanks a lot.